Another car this week. I guess it's really the season for the cars and the motorcycles. That's why, every few weeks I like to bring you another one. And this gentleman right here, I've known for a few years. He's got a really cool car here as well. Pat Teahan, thanks so much for giving me some time in your home here.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for coming.
And your Irish background.
I am, yeah.
Right, yeah. But are you from Sarnia? We're out here in Corunna. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Wahlsburg.
Okay.
I moved to Sarnia to go to school, and then ended up getting a job back in Wahlsburg and didn't feel like moving back, so we ended up moving to Corunna.
Midway.
Yeah, Midway. My wife was working in Sarnia at the time, so we moved here. And
how old were you when you left Wahlsburg to come here?
18 or 19.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved up my second year of college.
Yeah.
Moved to Sarnia.
Yeah. Everybody who watches the show knows I'm going to ask, what was school like for you? Like the public school and the high school years?
God, honestly, elementary, I went to Catholic Elementary in Wahlsburg. Our Lady of Help. I barely remember. It's like a blur. It's not like
that good,
Not good. Yeah, high school, like I was a car guy. I was a BMX guy. I was into bikes and cars and stuff like that. So
So where did that car thing come from? Was that a dad or was that a buddy?
No, I don't know. I've had this conversation with my friends. I don't know where my love for cars comes from. I don't have any car people in my family.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I just love mechanical, and my dad was good at taking things apart and putting things together, and I just love taking things apart, putting things together, figuring out how they work, make it better.
Yeah.
Right. And then I don't know. It just kind of parlayed into cars at some point in time. And
what did your dad do?
He was a custodian for a public elementary school in Wahlsburg. So my mom worked for community living. And so he was like the handy guy at school, so he could fix anything. And
did you catch on quick? I mean, to that car thing and fixing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. I think I'm the guy that a lot of people come to for odd problems.
Yeah.
So like the other day, Rob's car died at the Clarence
Rob
show. Yeah, his car died at the Clarence show, and he put it towed it home and was gonna look at it later or whatever. And it's like, I'm coming over. So we went over and had it fixed in like a couple minutes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, sort of.
Well, the car group, and I know everybody we've had on here talking about their cars, it's a real community, and you just talked about I'll be right over to help you fix that. You know, that's pretty common, and at least in the circle of the group that you're in with the cars.
Yeah, it is. There's a huge car community. It's funny, I was talking to another friend of mine this morning just about car culture in Lambton County, and it's huge here. And there's a large pocket of those, there's a lot of just car guys, but then I like to work on cars. I love driving cars, but I love working on cars, right? I love figuring out why it broke. How do I make it better? How do I improve it?
Good. I'm glad. I got a Firebird needs some love and attention.
So we find each other. We kind of find each other when there's a problem.
Do you think that's the car community, or is it where we live in Sarnia?
I think this community is very much
I say Sarnia. I should say Lambton.
Sarnia, Lambton. Yeah, this community I find is very much fix it. Make it better, take it apart, do it yourself, get it done, right? And then I just think that a lot of guys that are and gals that are the same mindset, just kind of find themselves in cars, because a lot of these classic cars, there's nobody out there that knows how to fix,
It just seems like Lambton County in general, I pretty much say it every time, knows how to come together, help each other, even if we don't like each other sometimes, right? We still... that's tenfold in the car community here.
It's huge. Yeah, it's huge here. Yeah, it's awesome. I ran into a couple of guys at the Moose Lodge show the other day that came up from St. Thomas, and they were kind of talking about how many car events there are here, and how many different car subcultures there are here, and bike subcultures, and Jeep groups, and the tuner car groups, and truck groups and stuff like that.
I know, it's crazy. I didn't realize it until I've only had my car I don't know, about 4 years, maybe going on 5. And like everybody else is oh, I got a cool car now, it's right on. And all of a sudden, I think because all of a sudden you're around that, it's they all showed up, and it was where did all these cars come from? The ones that are parked in barns and hidden in garages, some that are being built that we won't hear about for another 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
It's just so huge.
Yeah, like we'll be out at the park and all of a sudden our car will show up. It's like, oh, I've never seen this car before. And somebody's like, I know that car. That car belonged to so-and-so and he had it in high school and it's been in his garage for 30 years and he just dusted it off for the first time since then.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I know a few guys who have got their cars that they had in high school still that are driving them today, right?
Yeah.
And something I've noticed though about the car community, and maybe it's only because I've recently been around it, I feel like more women are showing up with these cars. Like Robin Marks is a great example.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of females. Is that accurate to say more are showing up than say would have 20 years ago?
I think so. I find that there's been more and more females and spouses and that either have their car or that, you know, just love the hobby and want to be a part of it or whatever, or they're just passionate about their spouse's passion, right? So like even when we go, like when a bunch of us go out for coffee or a bunch of us end up at somebody's shop or whatever, like like it's half women. Like it's awesome, right? So and I mean it's great. They're, you know, some of them are in there with us. Like
there's always a story with everyone. Like you talk about the guys coming down from St. Thomas or whatever, and I think Rob Marks was talking about how this guy was talking to him. He had the same car as Rob or something, and he was talking about, oh, you got the right hood because that's the only weld ever, like to the weld. And you're like, who would have ever thunk about
that was the Canadian Hot Rod Power Tour.
That's right.
They were in Sarnia on the weekend.
Yeah, and they didn't tell anybody.
No. So it's a tour, and I guess they only take 50 or 80 or something like that registrations, and then but they don't tell anybody where they're going. I think it's just because they don't want like theft and stuff like that. And then they'll email out to that group of folks and just say, this is where we're going, meet us here, and they'll all meet up and they go for a cruise.
I saw a few the night before, and I was like, where are all these cars coming? And I didn't recognize any of the cars, so I was like, well, that's odd. But
no, we didn't either. Yeah, so that guy with the Camaro, that was like the Camaro guru, right? Like that's how Rob found that guy. Cool. He just was driving by and seen a bunch of cars sitting in the parking lot, stopped in to chat, and turned out that's what it was. So
relationships are and I've talked about this before, but relationships, long distance relationships, I think, are built. Like people really travel all over to go to these car shows, right?
Like I regularly will go to car shows like, you know, London, St. Thomas, St. Mary's, like Essex, Leamington or whatever, right? So 150 kilometers is kind of like the radius I'll take mine. You know, not that I don't trust mine to go any further than that, but I mean, fuel gets expensive. And
sure. If you were part of the Motorama deal?
I didn't go this year. I drove down. My wife and I went down Saturday morning and hung out with the guys and saw the show. I'm pretty sure mine's going this coming winter. So some of the guys have been giving me the gears about bringing my car. So I think I'm. I'm kind of committed.
Giving you the gears, pun intended. Talk about your car. Describe it for us. What are we looking at here?
It's a 1964 Lincoln Continental. So 4-door, suicide doors. I've done a ton of work to it. I bought it from the original owner, actually. So I got the car so start by saying I've loved the car since I was like 16 years old. Since I started loving cars, I've loved the Lincoln Continental. I've been obsessed with suicide doors. Like it's just been like in my brain since I was a teenager. I had a 4-door Cavalier, was my very first car when I was 16, and we suicided the back doors on the car. It ended up not working. The doors sagged and we had to put the doors back to normal. And then in the early 2000s, I kind of got into mini trucking. So I bought a Colorado that was the 4-door, but with the rear suicide doors, just because it's always been a fascination of mine, right? And then in 2015, I finally got the car I've always wanted, 60s Continental. So and 64 was always my favorite year. So I found this one. It was in Lake Orion, Michigan. I got it from the original owner. So the original owner, he actually passed away in 2003. His daughter inherited it. Sat in the daughter's garage for 12 years. And then she put it up for sale in 2015. So I got it. I went down there, looked at it, went back again, paid for it, went back again, because you got to wait like 3 days for all the paperwork. So we went down 3 times. So finally on the 3rd time, dragged the car back. But it's interesting because that car is it was manufactured in Wixom, right? Which is like a suburb of Detroit. Right? So it's a real Detroit steel car.
Nice.
It was originally sold, in San Francisco. So like the DSO on the door where the car was originally sold at was in San Francisco. The family that bought my car, they were actually in California at the time. He was in the military. So, or the Army or whatever unit. So then he got restationed across the country a couple of times. So the car spent a little bit of time in like, I think Idaho or Illinois or something like that. I forget where, but they ended up, his final stationing was in the early 90s in Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then that's where that's where his family kind of stayed, and that's where he was when he retired.
And is this the original color?
It's the original color, it's not the original paint. So it's called Princeton Gray.
Okay.
Yeah, even though it has like a bluey color to it. So, but the car was repainted in the early 80s. So he was there in the early 90s. The car got sideswiped, I guess, in the early 90s.
Oh, okay.
But the daughter still knew the name of the mechanic and the body shop that maintained the car going all the way back to the early 90s. So she gave me the guy's phone number. So I called him up. I'm like, do you know this car? He's like, I know that car. So
nice.
Yeah, so he was able to give me the history all the way back to the early 90s when they moved to Michigan. Yeah, it's just funny though. But so the car was made in Detroit, made in Wixom, sold in California, came back to Detroit. Like Lake Orion is just like 20 miles away from Wixom. Yeah, well, it's just funny. They went all across the country and came home.
And is this similar to, I might get this wrong, like JFK was in a...
he was, yeah.
It was a 63.
Yeah, kind of. So his was actually a 61.
Yeah.
And Ford...
He was killed in 63.
He was killed in 63. The car was a 61, but every year Ford would take the car back, change the grille, change the dash, so it looked like the latest model year, and then sent it back out again. So the car actually had like a 63 dash and grille, but it was actually a 61.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And it's actually in the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit, so we've gone down to see it since then. They used that car up until the early 70s. They welded a roof on it after Kennedy was killed in it and kept using it for another 8 years.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
See, I just thought I saw it in Atlantic City. Is there more than one that he used, maybe?
There was probably multiple.
Well, I would think.
Or it may have been on like tour or something like that.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
But it's very cool. And this is really low to the ground.
Low,
too.
yeah. So one of the things I love with that car, like any of those big cruising cars, like I like them like right on the ground. So I put air ride on it.
I was gonna say, so you raise it up before you drive it.
Yeah. So it'll lay right on the ground. I did all the work myself. I have a tiny one-car garage. I'll show you later. It's a joke. So, but I made it work. So
it can't be smaller than mine.
You'll see, man. So I built cribbings. I lifted the car way up off the ground. I had the car probably 2 feet up in the air it was probably 2016, 2017. When I first got the car, I spent a year kind of just getting it running right, and then every year since then, it's been tinkering. So I did a triangulator 4-link, and I had to like box the control arms and new front strut rods and everything like that. Redid the whole suspension. I've redone the whole car. So when I got the car, it didn't even run. When I had to drag it home, so I had to do like brakes and suspension and steering and hydraulic, like the hydraulic lines for the power steering, and the vacuum lines were rotten on it. The timing had skipped. Every gasket on it leaked. The transmission
slipped. You just bought this bare bones, basically.
Yeah, I bought it because it was complete. It didn't run. Like, it wasn't a running car. It had no brakes. The engine didn't run. It smoked like crazy if you could get it to run. The carburetor was gummed. Like, it didn't. It was not a running car.
And where's your wife in all of this? Is she scratching her head?
Not really. I don't know. She doesn't. I don't know. She loves cruising.
She loves it too.
Yeah, she doesn't come to all the car shows. Yeah. So she's not an early bird, and car shows are always early, right? So if it's something that's later in the afternoon, she'll come out.
I'm with you.
So she may come with the dog for an hour or two and hang out or whatever, right? But then she's not.
Does anybody else drive this car, or is it just you?
Just me, but like I don't care. So
do you have kids?
No, I don't have kids.
Okay.
So I have a dog. That's my kid.
Okay, there you go. So the dog doesn't drive the car.
No, but she's been in it. Like the backseat of the car is full of her drool and snot and everything.
Oh wow.
So I'm not particular about my.
It's such a beautiful on the inside though. Too.
Yeah, it's cool. It's all the original leather. Like it's the original leather, original carpet. The car was heavily smoked in for 40 years. So when I got it was a lot of energy.
That's when smoking was cool.
Yeah, and it had like ashtrays everywhere, right? Yeah. More ashtrays than seat belts. But I spent a lot of time cleaning it and detailing it, and then I've put fuel injection on it and a big radiator in it, and it's got factory air conditioning that works. It's awesome. Yesterday we're cruising, I had my windows up. Everybody was mad at me because I had air and they're sweating, but
my Firebird, the air doesn't work. I need that one fixed too.
I love it. Oh, I need it. Yeah.
What's the ride like in this? Is it smooth or is it a tank?
Smooth. Yeah. No, it's awesome. It's like driving your living room.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's awesome. So I've been in cars with air ride, and they ride like a lumber wagon, and you're chattering your teeth. But no, not at all. Like it rides super comfortable.
And what's the power of this thing?
Well, I mean, what it says on paper is not at all what it feels seat of the pants, right? So, on paper it says 350 horse, 500 foot-pounds of torque. It's a big block Ford, right? But the reality is it's only a 2-speed transmission with a really tall highway gear, so it can barely get out of its own way when you're accelerating. But it's happy cruising at like 130.
Yeah.
So like it
kilometers.
Loves, like it loves to cruise at speed, but it's slow.
But that's what it is. It's a Lincoln. You cruise in a Lincoln.
It's a cruiser.
You're not taking off.
No,
you're not a Camaro.
No,
you're not
it's not a race car. I've had the guys bring it to the track. I'm like, why? So I can sound like the slow record. Like you could probably run faster. So not into
You're just gonna stay in your lane.
Stay in my lane. Go cruise. Right. Like just factory exhaust. It's meant to be quiet. It's meant to be comfortable, and that's what it is. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. How long have you had it?
Bought it in 2015.
2015.
So this is my 10th year with it.
Yeah. And have you had other cool cars before this one besides the Cavalier?
Well, it's funny. Before this, I had a truck. I had a 06 Colorado. I bought it brand new, like right off the dealer lot. Had like 50 kilometers on it when I bought it. So this is it was an 06, so I bought it end of 05. And in fact, like mini trucking was like really cool in the early 2000s, right? So, well, in the late 90s, it was like the Fast and Furious kind of. Right? So, because that was, I was like 17, 18 when that kind of came out, so I was kind of into that, and then I kind of grew up a little bit. So like 06-ish, I got my truck, got into mini trucking, brought the truck home, only had a few thousand kilometers on it, took the box off, cut the frame, slammed it right on the ground, so it would drag on the ground. It was awesome. It was super cool, but it sucked to drive because it was my daily driver. So voided the warranty like the first month I bought the truck.
Oh yeah.
Cut the frame, cut the wheel tubs, like had it slammed around the ground. So, but it was cool. I drove that truck for 11 years. Wow. I had it I got rid of it finally in 2017, and I had it on Marketplace, could not get rid of the truck. I'm like, oh, it's too heavily modified. So I put it mostly back to stock. It was still lower, but put it mostly back to stock. Ended up, a guy around the corner from me bought the truck, and literally lives a block away from me.
Yeah.
And he was an older fellow. He was like late 60s. And I said to him, like, if you want to raise it back up, I gave him all the factory, like leaf springs, coil springs, knuckles, everything. Threw it all in the back of the truck, and I was like, if you want to raise it back up, like, I'll walk over and I'll help you put it together. He's like, okay, I'll let you know. That was 2017. I still see it driving around all the time.
Yeah.
Slammed. Yeah, like laying on the ground. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So all right, he must love it. So it was cool. Yeah, it's a cool truck. So and then I finally got the Lincoln. So that there was a TV show a while ago. I forget what it was called, but a Lincoln was kind of like the the main kind of the main star of the show. I forget what it was called, but. When that show kind of came out, I'd always been watching kind of the prices of Lincolns. They started going up in price. I'm like, oh my! If I don't buy it now, like they're all of a sudden becoming like pop culture. Mm-hmm. If I don't get it now, then it'll be out of my price range.
My dad had a Lincoln.
Okay.
He had a Lincoln Continental Mark 6.
Okay.
And it was an 81, I believe. So it was a long version of a town car, you could say.
Yeah.
But it was it wasn't, every time I tell somebody it's a Lincoln, they go, oh, big boat, wide boat. It wasn't wide, it was long. And it had like all the computer buttons on it, like the trip log and the digital readout and everything. And I remember everybody thought my dad had a limousine company because it was black. It had the oval or the opera windows.
The opera windows,
right?
They're super cool.
And he sold that thing. It had 358,000 kilometers on it, and it was like the day he bought it.
Awesome.
And I would love to find that car. I've looked around. I found one. But they wanted more than I wanted to put out for it. But so and that was just recently. So that's part of your saying that's becoming more popular.
They are, they're becoming more popular. Yeah. I think all of the muscle cars have kind of been snatched up, and people are priced out of that market. Yeah, so now people are like, okay, what other cool cars are there, right? So the 80s stuff kind of sucked. So it's either the 90s stuff or it's the land yachts, right? So that's kind of
and it's true. Like we see, like a lot of Corvettes are out there. I mean, there's still a cool classic.
Super cool.
The older ones, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got the Camaros, right? and Firebirds and stuff like that, and then all the Challengers and everything. But the Lincoln is it's a very unique.
It's kind of an enigma. Yeah. Anytime I go anywhere, I'm always the only one. So I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Will you ever part ways with your Lincoln and move on to? Is there another bucket list vehicle?
There is a '59 Buick Electra.
Oh.
They're super cool. It's another oddball car, another big fat cruiser car, but
sorry, say what is it again?
Buick Electra.
Electra.
Yeah,
okay.
59, specifically the 59.
Wow. Why the 59?
Giant fins.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's just super cool. I love fin cars. I love big chrome. I love big glass and slab side body, and they're super cool. Yeah, they're.
Takes a lot to keep them clean too.
It does. Yeah, that's not my jam, so I'd rather drive it. So, but yeah.
Yeah. And you do a lot of traveling. I've noticed.
I do. Yeah.
You and your wife, and you recently were just away.
Yep, we just got back we went to Alaska and Yukon.
Yeah.
We did a cruise tour or a tour cruise or whatever. So yeah, we had a day, did Anchorage, 2 days in Denali, a day in Fairbanks, and then we flew into Dawson City, Yukon, had 2 days in Dawson City.
Wow.
And then Whitehorse, and then Skagway, and then got on a cruise ship. And then, we did Glacier Bay, Inside Passage, Ketchikan, Vancouver.
Awesome. And where do you work?
I work for the school board.
Oh, you do?
So,
okay.
I'm in administration. I actually do school busing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And what does your wife do?
She is, she's like a dental receptionist here in Corona.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
you're fortunate to get this time off to go, and is around the school season, I'm sure, right?
Well, we're kind of busy right now. So right now is kind of like finalizing our planning for September.
Yeah.
So I just took this week off arbitrarily. I booked it off back in February. I had some time to burn. So we got back we had booked Alaska, and that was early June, and then kind of went back for the last week of June, finished out the school year, and then
And you've been to Ireland recently too?
Bunch of times.
Within the last year?
Well, my dad's originally from Ireland.
Yeah.
Right? So he actually came over when he was a teen. So, let me tell you a story.
Yeah, go with
about my dad.
We got an hour.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story. So my dad has passed. So he passed in 2022. But he was the middle of 5 children. When he was, I gotta do the math here. When my dad was 5, his mother passed away.
Okay.
And his parents were kind of just like farmers who didn't even necessarily, back then you didn't necessarily own the land, but if you worked the land, then you could stay in the house on the land.
Oh, I see, okay.
Right?
So earned your keep.
Yeah, basically, right? So my dad and his siblings and his mom and dad lived there. So his mom passed when my dad was only 5 years old. So he had 2 younger sisters at the time who were 4 and 1. They actually got moved. An aunt from New York City actually brought them to New York City, sorry. And then my dad and his 2 older siblings stayed in Ireland with the father, my grandpa.
Okay.
My grandpa passed about 7 years later, so my dad was about 10 or 12 or so at the time. So now they're basically orphans, right?
Right.
My dad's 12. And then he has a 15 and 18-year-old older siblings. So the oldest, my aunt, got an apartment, and my dad's older brother, basically got taken in by his older sister, but my dad was kind of too young to be taken in. So an uncle from England came and brought my dad home.
Oh.
So my dad kind of got rehomed to England when he was 12. So he went through high school and did some post-secondary in England, and at the time England was already metric, right? Whereas Canada was still standard, because I don't think we went metric here until the early 70s or something like that.
I was in grade 3, that's all I remember.
So
that was a while ago.
So my dad turned, 18, 19, he was in that area, and he went to school for tool and die and machining and stuff like that, and he did all that in metric. At the time, Canada was starting to go metric. They were looking, so machine shops and everybody here in tool and die was looking for tradespeople who knew metric, right? So, and Australia was at the same time. So Canada and Australia kind of both went metric at the same time. So my dad, basically, him and his best friend, John Lee, went to the airport when they were 18 years old and said, I want a plane ticket to either Canada or Australia, which one's cheaper? And the 2 of them ended up in Vancouver.
Wow.
Yeah, so then he was working on tugboats and stuff like that out there as a tool and die maker machine, right, in the early 70s. And my mom was originally from Port Colborne. She was a hippie out in Vancouver in the early 70s, as you do. They met in a bar, and they got together, and eventually, the work for my dad dried up, and they found their way back to the Welland, Port Colborne area, because that's where my mom was originally from, and then a job opened up in the Wallsburg area for my mom. She worked at community living, so they relocated to Wallsburg. So that's where I fit in.
There you go. And do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a younger sister. She lives in Windsor. Okay. Her husband, Jay, and they have a daughter, my niece, Finley, who had just turned 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you stay in touch with family?
Very much so, yeah. So we went to Ireland. So my dad passed in 2022, and one of his last wishes is he wants some of his remains brought back to Ireland to be buried with his parents.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So we brought some of his remains back in 22 and buried him with his parents. So it's kind of funny, but so Brandy and I, we try and make it over to see my cousins in Ireland fairly regularly. We'd been over 2014, 2016, something like that. And then during COVID, there was a baby boom and Irish Catholics, right? So lots of new babies, right? So in March of 22, Brandy and I booked a flight. We're like, you're allowed to travel again. Finally, we love to travel. Yeah, so March of 22, we booked flights to Ireland. And then my dad actually ended up passing 2 months later. So, and we had our trip booked for August. So then it became, instead of go to Ireland, meet the new nieces and nephews, drink beers, it was bring the whole family and do the, kind of the timing was
kind of good.
Kind of good. Yeah, it kind of worked out because we already had flights booked and so it kind of changed our plans. Yeah. So then last year we were kind of like, all right, we need to go back and do the tour we meant to do. So we went back again last year and I just rent a car and I just drive. And
is that right?
Yeah, we just kind of hop town to town.
I'm a little jealous because it's on my list to go.
Oh man, you gotta go.
And I keep hearing it's just beautiful, the land and the people.
Yeah. The people are amazing. The food is amazing. Like it's totally different than here. Like over there.
And does it change like how people are over there? You always hear about north and south kind of thing, or different sides of the tracks.
I don't think so. Like we've spent time in the north. When we went in 14 or 16, we spent some time in Northern Ireland. Spent some time in Belfast. We spent some time like at the Peace Wall and we did like a black cab tour and some of that. Super cool. The people there I think are pretty amicable. Like there's not any hostility, I don't think. I'm sure, you get the right amount of whiskey and the wrong amount of people. Then, but
that happens anywhere.
Yeah, it's not
that happens in
there,
Canada.
So no, I love it. It's my home, right? So Ireland, I don't know, you go and it calls you back. As soon as you're home for a week and you want to go back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And there's a song. Oh, I was thinking about it on the way here, and now I can't remember.
It's Danny Boy?
No. No, it's a place. A friend of mine used to sing it all the time. He was an Irish fellow.
A long, long way to Tipperary?
No, it's going to come to me when this is all over.
Yeah.
But it's obviously for personal reasons important for you to go back. And do you? Is there still family there like that? When you go, you make a point of
all my family's
visiting.
Yeah. So I have my my dad's 2 older siblings. One of his siblings who got brought to New York, she went back like later, so she's there. My cousin is there, like her daughter's there. Plus my dad's older siblings, kids and grandkids, so my cousins and nieces and nephews are all there. So we go and we usually crash in one of their houses for 2 or 3 or 4 days.
So you're close with them too, like
very close,
and you communicate when you're here still
all the time on
the internet.
It's funny. Like my wife has family in Corunna, and we see my family in Ireland more than we see my wife's family in Corunna. So it's the joke. So very close with them. Yeah. Great.
Do you have besides Ireland? Is there a list of where you're going to go in this world for traveling?
Poland is high on my list. Germany's high on my list.
Oh, Germany! Go to Munich. I was there. It's beautiful.
My God, I know. I'm a big World War II like buff.
Oh yeah.
And obviously I'm a car nerd, right? So Germany is like Mecca for car nerds, right? So
I meant to go to the BMW museum, and I'm not good with directions.
No.
Let's just leave it at that. I was on the train, and it goes and it stops, and then it went and it stopped, and it went back the other way. I missed so I didn't make it to the BMW.
I know, I saw your photos. Like,
so I just got to go back now. So that's all there is to it. Yeah.
And then I love Poland just because of like also World War II, but also the architecture, right? So
I know.
I love it.
I was in Budapest. It's another one that's just wow.
Yeah.
And I have to go back because Jennifer wasn't with me, and I'm like, you got to see all of this. So exciting plans for the future, right? And what about your do you have the other bucket list I always ask, like, are you looking to jump out of an airplane or anything like that, or?
I just want to see as much of the world as I can while I'm physically able to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So like time is short.
Right. Well, you're physically able to do it. I
Yeah.
should get you to talk to my wife. I'm like, come on, we got to get going.
Yeah, like we just booked Mexico like for January. Just like I always have to have something. When we booked Alaska, we booked this like a year and a half ago. And I mean, it wasn't cheap, so we didn't go away this winter. And then all the way winter, it's like, oh my God, it's killing me being stuck here. I need to get away. So
Mexico's great.
Yeah, I know.
Well, different areas, right? Yeah. And we're going to Portugal. That's another one coming up. Yeah, so
Brandy's best friend, all of her family's in Portugal, and she keeps like kind of like, come to Portugal. It's like,
Costa Rica is another one I want to get to.
Awesome.
And I keep hearing,
we went to Cuba.
So we'll have to keep trade and traveling.
Yeah, I know. I see your photos.
Right?
Yeah. I'm always like going through. I love travel photos. I love other people's travel photos.
I got to tell you, you're. Let's shift gears a little bit here. We'll maybe come back to that, but. Retro car events, I know is something that you're proud to be a part of. And, you're like the organized guy as far as like I know everything that's going on because you keep a list of. How do you keep a list of all that stuff?
Well, you know, you were flying around with the camera talking about being OCD. Like, this is my OCD, right?
Yeah, I was like, this is crooked.
Moving around. Yeah. So I just like, and this is what I do for a living too, right? Is just like organizing. And
I suppose,
how do I, make things like fit things in or whatever? And I try so I'm not a part of the admin for RCE, but I do help them maintain and manage events, right? I'm still a part of the community, right? I always say, like, I love my hobby, I love my community, right? So I want to do what I can do to support those things, right? I don't want to be the decision maker per se. Like I did that for 5 years and I kind of retired from doing that, but I'm happy to help with, the things that I think are
whatever needs to be done too, right?
And maintaining events. So like people will share events, I'll find events. Just kind of being in this hobby and in this community for so long, you kind of know. Okay, I know that this is typically on this weekend, but they haven't announced their flyer yet, so I'm gonna like make a placeholder or whatever. And so it's a busy.
Well, I'll tell you, there's me and so many others that appreciate you doing that because. I don't go to a lot of car shows just because I'm busy on weekends at a lot of things. But when we do have a free weekend coming up, I go right into retro car events, and I just go. Even events. Jennifer goes, "Hey, we could go to this one." We go, "Oh yeah, okay." And so thank you for doing that because that's
happy to do it.
That's a big job. Like that must take a lot of your time.
Yeah, it's a fair bit. And then every week, like every Monday, when I finally get like a chance to take a breath, I'll go in because like new shows are still being added, right? It's not like the whole season is planned in March, so it's constantly being added, being changed, swap meets, different things, right? So every Monday I kind of go in and it's like, what are the new things to add? Delete all the stuff that's past, so you're not like scrolling past 2 months of stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
So I'm constantly like purging out the old, and then events will change their flyer, or they'll have an event and then they'll change the event. So I'm quite often going through making sure that the links still work and updating links and updating flyers, and I don't know.
So you must be like really bored in the winter.
I'm so bored in the winter, Dave. So bored in the winter.
What do you do?
It drives my wife crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm techie. Like I love computer stuff, right? So I do a lot of home lab stuff. I do a lot of computer programming. I do a lot of Arduino and ESP and Raspberry Pi stuff.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, kind of down like the Debian, Ubuntu rabbit hole, and it's a rabbit hole. Like cars are a rabbit hole, and like this is another hole.
No, I'm a techie guy, not that far techie. I used to be, but there's so much. Well, let's talk about technology too.
Sure.
The technology that. In the schools, for example, let's talk about technology there. Like, I would think that privacy is like a number one, and not even just in schools, but I'm sure you deal with that. But just privacy, period, with our technology. Are we doing a good job at that?
Terrible, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're backsliding, right?
Yeah.
So it's and not like privacy, but I also think like your rights to your like personal data. Like I think people too willingly give away their information, right? So
we click the I agree button because Facebook is free.
Yeah,
so we don't read it.
Yeah,
their lawyer wrote it, but we don't call our lawyer and say, "Hey, read this." Right?
Yeah.
So do you think we're too quick? So whose fault is that? Is that I don't want to pick on Facebook.
No,
not the only one, but is that social media's fault, or is that our fault for just going? Yeah, sure.
I think it's a little bit of both, right? It's complacency, right? So it's kind of like what's the analogy about like the frog in the boiling water, right? Like you slowly turn it up, right, or whatever the analogy is. I just think it's that, like, just you lose a little bit, and it's not just like privacy. Like I think it's like it's everywhere and it's everything, right? Like one of the things that's actually a really big, kind of adjacent, but really big right now is video games. So there's a huge push right now for people who have like retro gaming, classic consoles, like original Nintendo, original PlayStation, stuff like that, right? Having right to be able to have those video games and new video games that you can only download and then the servers go offline. And I paid for it, but I don't have it.
You're talking like Steam, that kind of thing.
And video games, movies, right? You purchase a movie online and you lose access to it.
You go on your Prime and
you agree and then it's gone. So I don't know. And I think it's a combination of just complacency, right? So
what are we worried about though? Like when you talk about privacy, like I don't know, like privacy, like okay that you're coming into my bedroom maybe on a camera or something. But
no, I don't think it's that. Like I think that,
or is it just that we're just those are my rights?
I don't even know if it's that. I think it's just making it too easy to be manipulated with people, anybody who wants to buy your data, right? Or they just want to buy, what are people that are in this demographic interested in, or what are people searching, right? And then fake data gets fed into like people's. So I think it's more so that.
See, I don't know that, and I've gone down a bit of this rabbit hole, but I haven't actually talked to a lawyer on it, so I'm just it's more of what I've observed. But I don't think it's illegal to sell your information.
No.
I can sell Pat Teahan, your address, blah blah blah. I can't use it for illegal activity.
Yeah.
Like identity theft, for example, and then speed down the road and get the ticket in your name, right?
Yeah.
Although. No ideas out there, but you know what I'm saying. Like, so are the laws not tight enough? And because these socials, whatever, would say, well, we're not breaking any laws.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You can actually go on Facebook in their privacy, and you can actually see all of the things that they think you're interested in, and it's the weirdest things. Like mine will go in. It's like, oh, he may be interested in flying kites. Why would you think that? Right? But if I saw a video on a kite, I might click on it, right?
Right.
So it's interesting to kind of go in and see all the things that it thinks it knows about you.
Yeah.
It's kind of
certain ads start popping up. It's time to delete your browsing history.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's wild.
Yeah.
And it's funny. So it's a whole rabbit hole.
So it concerns you
a little bit. It's frustrating. So to an extent that I don't know.
Or are you writing it off too? Like we're talking about it, but then like you're gonna go, whatever. Like I got nothing to hide, or like I don't know, like
no, I don't know. I'm kind of a privacy nut. So we're talking about home lab stuff. Like I block a lot of that stuff from being able to access in my house. Like if you
use Google.
I do, Well, I try to use mostly DuckDuckGo, but a lot of Google stuff doesn't work. I use Google services, right? Like, if you try and access TikTok in my house, it doesn't work. Like, there's a lot of things like that like just don't work on my Wi-Fi. So.
What about? Okay, well, now that I didn't know this about you, so what? Never mind the cars. This is interesting. Okay, so ChatGPT or artificial intelligence. Your feelings, your current feelings on that.
I think it's promising. I think too many people trust it as fact, right? So I think it's good for jumping off data, right? Like if you need to write a letter or you need to write a paper or you're trying to write some code, I think it's good. It's a good tool to go in and ask it, and it'll give you like a good place to go in and then fact check, refine it, right? Build it out from there. I think too many people will ask, Google Bard or whatever, and then, okay, well, that's the answer. No, it's not.
I remember when I taught at the college, and the first year, so it was 5 years ago, whatever, and ChatGPT had been talked about, but now it's everywhere. Like, I use it. I've probably used it 250 times today already. It's like a personal secretary for me. I do fact check it. I do make sure I read it before. But when it comes to like ideas, I'll be like, give me, like me, Mr. Content, give me 10 ideas on how to talk about with Pat, whatever. But do you think we'll get to a point though where like we ask it a question and we do believe it? We'll put more of our faith in it because it does become more accurate over time. Do you think we'll hit that point?
I hope it becomes more accurate, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people, I think too many people already take AI as, the holy grail, where it's not. Like, I think if you're using it as a tool for yourself to then, build something accurate, it's fantastic, right? I think too many people use it and just think that is, not that Wikipedia is 100% either, but I think it's probably more accurate than some of the stuff you're going to get.
But we've done that with Google too. Yeah. Like I remember going back to my students, I would say, well, I Google it. And even somebody who was actually not too long ago, I would say in their mid-30s, I had a conversation like this. And they were like, well, I Googled it and it said this. And I go, and you believe that? And he goes, yeah. Like he didn't hesitate. Yeah. He said it with conviction. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's good. And I'm like, but what, the encyclopedia? Yeah. Well, we trusted the encyclopedias, and they weren't always accurate. Yeah. But we had nothing else to turn to. Yeah. It was like the library was gospel. Yeah. Google is gospel, and now with ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. But on the side of artificial intelligence, helping with like cancer, for example.
Fantastic. Yeah. Right. Because I think it's going to be used to weed out the garbage, weed out the noise, narrow down the focus of the experts to then take that narrowed down, chunk to do the final refining. Like I think it can, kind of take the junk off the top and let the experts drill it down.
I find it the efficiency side. Like I now have 48 hours in a 24-hour day because stuff that I used to. For me, I'm a one-man show, right? I do all my own stuff, but. It gives me more time in a day to do things that honestly I don't like. Yeah. Hey, especially in awkward situations. So you're using ChatGPT then?
Yeah, I do a bit. Yeah. Okay. And I use the Meta AI and the Google AI, and I'll use them for like I said, I'll use it for getting started writing it programming code. Yeah, it's great for that because it's I don't even know where to start. So let me ask whatever and see, or if I need to create an event poster or banner for RCE, right? For
I noticed you use it.
Yeah, so sometimes it'll be oh my God, another friggin' poster. I'm not creative to draw.
And it's gotten better with the letters.
It has gotten a lot better. Yeah, weird E's that are superimposed.
It's not retro car events, it's retro car events.
Yeah, it has gotten a lot better. So, and it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic for stuff like that, right? I think just when it's used to deceive is where it's
and that's I think that's a fair concern. People go, but that's I don't know if this is a fair comparison. It's okay to own a gun if you know how to shoot it properly and you're not pointing it in the wrong direction. Yeah. So there's going to be those people though that 100%. Use it for criminals are born every day, or not born necessarily, but they're worked into a criminal at some point. Yeah. So they're going to find a way to use it. I get that. The same way they can use a car for a getaway at bank robbery, right? Yeah. But there's a lot that's interesting. I like it too for awkward situations. Yeah. It's I said something that offended Pat the other day, I'm pretty sure, because he said something and I don't know, I consider him a nice guy and I didn't mean to offend him. Yeah. Can you please act as a counselor and how can I respond? And it's great for that kind of stuff. Totally. I've learned a lot of stuff. Have you ever used it for anything like as a counselor or anything? No. Or ask it for its opinion on how to handle it?
No, I haven't. I'm thankful.
I make stuff
up. It's probably good, right? It's probably good that I don't.
I make stuff up.
Yeah, for me, I mostly use it for coding and just getting started in something and for creating graphics, right? Yeah. So I mostly use it for stuff for myself. Yeah. Right.
So when you're programming, let's shift over to that now. What do you program and what are you designing?
I do a lot of automation. Yeah. I do automotive automation. Yeah. Right. So I have an Arduino. I've wrote an app. So I can actually my 60-year-old Lincoln. I can open the windows and unlock the doors in the trunk and everything like that from an app I wrote on my phone with an Arduino that's always running in my trunk. I'll show you. It's pretty cool. The whole house is automated. My curtains open and close.
Are you the hidden millionaire you haven't told anybody because your app went viral?
No. I don't think anybody even uses my app. I just wrote it for myself.
Wow.
Yeah. I just.
So it's available though on Apple or
Google. Yeah, it's on the Play Store. Yeah, I think it has one download. Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So.
Well, you segue into what I was going to come to was: are you using this for any car design or anything? Are you going to design your own custom, like very unique, better than the president's Lincoln?
Well, I'm not creative to design a car, but it's funny. So I also, like, adjacent to everything else I have going on with the car community here, I actually also run the Lincoln Continental Club.
Oh.
So like the 60s. So the slab side Lincoln. So and they have suicide doors. So the club is the suicide slabs. So I have a sticker on my car. So it's 61 to 69 Lincolns. It's a worldwide club, but ironically, most of the cars are Canada and the US, but then Sweden, Australia, New Zealand is where majority of our members are. We have 4,500 members.
Wow.
Right? So I run that group. So there was actually, on the convertibles, you know how on a modern car, with some of the cars, like on a modern Mustang, you open the door and the window drops like a little bit, so that doesn't get caught in the weather seal. So the convertible Lincolns with the suicide doors, the back windows would bind. So the factory auto drop on those cars would be that when you push the button, it'll roll the back window down 2 inches so that the door doesn't bind.
Oh, okay.
When it opens. That mechanism, 60 years old, there was no, microprocessor or anything back then. They used relays and current limiting and switches and this, that, and the other. Very, very, very complicated. Notorious for breaking, notorious for getting out of alignment, right? Like you take it to a shop who even knows how to use that stuff, it's $2,000. I developed a kit that's made with an Arduino and some relays, and I have sold and shipped these things like all over the world to guys that just have a convertible and they can't get their windows working in time. So I build a kit and send them out, and it's one of my side hustles.
Right.
Yeah.
You saved the day.
Yeah. So, and now it's actually gotten to the point where there's a lot of Lincoln Continental restoration shops who specialize in 60s Lincolns, like the 61, 61 and 67 are the convertibles, who specialize in those cars, who come almost exclusively to me now because they don't even bother trying to restore the old stuff because there's too much time, too much money, too much energy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You must, must make you feel pretty good to know that
it's cool. Yeah,
you're doing this kind of thing.
I've been doing it,
and it's very unique.
Extremely unique. Yeah, extremely.
I didn't realize there was that many Lincolns around, really?
They built about 35,000 cars per year, which isn't very much compared to like a Camaro where they might have built 300,000 a year. And they built about 3,300 convertibles a year from 61 to 67. So, whatever that is, 20,000 convertibles or whatever. And probably if it's not rotten into the ground and it's still on the road, the windows probably don't work. So I build and ship and sell these kits. And it's all through word of mouth and on Instagram.
Maybe you can keep an eye out for that Lincoln I was telling you about my dad had.
Yeah, if it's out there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's incredible. I'm so glad we've been able to sit down because we're friends, but we're friendly acquaintances. But I'm learning so much from talking to you here today. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have going back to the Lincoln? Do you have another one that you want?
Another Lincoln?
Yeah.
Oh God, no. One's enough.
Yeah.
One's enough. It's funny. So,
if you didn't have this Lincoln, is there a second one that you would go? I could go for that one.
Well, that was the Electra.
Oh, that's right. The Electra. You did say that.
That was the other car I would love to have. They're super cool.
Are they hard to find or?
Very hard. They're harder to find than that, surprisingly. So I've never seen one at a car show, but they're out there. Right. So, but
are you into airplanes at all? I feel like you'd be an airplane guy.
I'm not.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a plane.
Because that's a pretty techie thing, right?
Yeah. I like snowmobiles, but I fell off a snowmobile when I was a kid, and I kind of am like
snowmobiles.
Yeah. We don't have enough snow around here.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I have the field across the road, so in the winter there's always sleds, and in the spring and everything there's always quads and everything blasting through there, going back to the bush. But
when you're in the retro car events, and then we talk about the community. Mm-hmm. That's really important to you to give back.
Huge.
It feels
huge.
Like. Where did that come from, and why is that important to you?
I don't know. I think it's just instilled in me from my parents.
Yeah.
Right? So they've always been very much about. They've always been very much about doing the right thing, right? I know a lot of people say that, but it eats at me if I'm not doing everything that I can and using the resources that I have and the skills that I have and the energy that I have to do something better for my community. Most of the time I don't know what to do. But I've kind of fallen into this position, like, not position, but with cars, like car community, car people, right? And I think that, I don't know, a lot of people kind of in the community, in like Sarnia, Corunna, Petrolia, like Wallsburg, Port Lambton-ish area, kind of know who I am. And I think they kind of like, what's a good idea for this? Or when's a good idea for that? Or we do a thing, but we also want to do a car show. What's a good time of the year for that? And so I kind of like advise a lot. So I'm kind of doing what I can.
You're an idea guy.
I'm an idea guy.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm an idea guy. So yeah, and then not only that, like my wife and I both volunteer with Heaven's Wildlife. So
that's incredible you say that, because I've heard that name come up in the last like 2 weeks, like 5 times.
Oh yeah.
And now you're saying it here again at Heaven's Wildlife.
Yeah.
Talk about your involvement with that.
They're in Oil Springs.
Yeah.
So they're mostly, wild animals, right? Mm-hmm. So they're not cats and dogs, right? They're like, raccoons and skunks and possums and stuff like that. But it's not, they just kind of like, if an animal's suffering, okay, well then put it out of its misery, right? But if it can be helped, then why leave it with a broken foot or whatever? So she kind of bandages it up, and when it's good, like releases them back into the wild, right?
Yeah. So what are you guys doing out there?
So my wife mostly does fundraising,
okay,
right? So she is, when you go to No Frills and there's a table of, people like selling shirts or just collecting funds, right? Mm-hmm. So she's the one who's at the table doing that. And then I've done manual labor for them, so I've gone out and built cages and stuff like that. And so now we're helping do we're doing a 50-50 for the Captain Kidd's car show. So we're kind of, my wife and I are kind of spearheading that, and the two of us will be under the tent at the RCE, like under the Heaven's Wildlife tent at the RCE Captain Kidd's car show.
Nice.
Right? So
so that's for Heaven's Wildlife. And then there's isn't there RCE's doing another draw for, did I see like cornhole and stuff like that?
Yeah. They're busy guys. They're awesome. They're a great group. And I mean we're the similar mindset. Like we're always like trying to think of something, like get the community involved, and like not only the car community but also just like the community at large, right?
In general,
like,
I know.
Yeah, like for me, like I love getting young people into cars. Mm-hmm. So like at high school proms, like I'm the guy who's like bringing the 17-year-olds up to do photos under the bridge, right? It's like, where do you want to go? And drive them around, right? Do stuff like that.
I know a lot of those guys do that too.
Be at a car show and like this little kid looking at my cars, like get in, like I don't care, like it ain't gonna hurt. It's been here 60 years. You're not gonna hurt it. Get in.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
And I'll have to. I feel like the laws of the universe are telling me to go talk to Heaven's Wildlife.
They really are. Like they do good things. They've only just finally gotten their charitable status last year.
Yeah, because they do it out of their home, don't they?
Yeah. So she's actually at a farm now.
Oh,
so
okay.
She was doing it out of her home, and I mean, doing that in town is not great. But now she's out at a farm now, and she has a lot of like international wildlife kind of students.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know all that part.
Some interns that are helping.
There you go.
Right, yeah.
Who come and help, right? So she's busy with kind of running the show and doing the stuff like that.
Well, that's really a friend of mine told me Sherry works out there. She was telling me about it too.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so they just did the quilt draw the other day, and we're doing the 50-50, and there's always they do like the silent auctions and stuff like that through their Facebook page, and we'll run around, pick stuff up and drop stuff off and whatever. Yeah. So we don't handle wildlife. I don't have my rabies.
How old are you, Pat?
44.
Yeah. No sign of 44. Slowing down for you, right?
No, I can't.
You just want to keep busy right to the end.
I do.
Yeah.
Talk to anybody that knows me. Like, I'm like a friggin' yo-yo, right? So like yesterday when we were yesterday at the Moose, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh my God, it's killing me sitting this long. I can't sit for more than an hour. So
I wish I'd have known. We'd have got you selling 50-50 tickets or something. Here you go.
I do. Yeah, I'll be like after.
Yeah, you are. I've seen you do that too.
Yeah, it drives my wife.
Here, do something.
Yeah, we had to get rid of the TV because as soon as a commercial would come on, I would get up and disappear, and it would drive her mad, and she would have to pause it and wait for me to come back. So we just had to cancel TV entirely.
I barely watch television.
I
got IPTV and YouTube. That's all I need.
YouTube is pretty much my primary source.
And I'm the learning guy too. I'm always watching. Once in a while, I'll watch a Mafia thing or something. But other than that, I'm not.
Yeah. I love history. I love computers. I love retro tech. Like I love 80s stuff.
The history things.
History stuff, yeah. Like I've been down like a whole rabbit hole lately on cassette tapes, right?
Oh
just
God. I was just, you and I have more in common than I've ever realized.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things I love about doing these talks is I learn a lot about people and boy, we've got a lot more to talk about, but we're just about out of time. So all I can do now is thank you very much for your time, Pat. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
And thanks to all of you for watching. And you know what I'm going to say. And we'll give a special shout out. They're probably having a watch party for you somewhere.
Probably.
Right? Yeah. And we'll give a shout out to everybody watching. But to all of you watching, click the love button and really click the share button. It's the most important button so we can share Pat and everybody else's story I have here. But you know what's coming. As always, that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. We'll see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.